Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. For today's video I'm going to be showing you how to color and shade. I'm going to be using a Vegeta drawing I made as a base. So please grab your coloring items and let's go. To start things off, we're going to use a nice little purple as the base, or violet, however you want to call it. For the next color, we're going to use a nice little darker purple for the rest of the iris, just for a little shading. You don't really need to blend this, but you could if you want. Zooming in here, we're going to use an even darker shade. Then we're going to use some white for a little lighting. Then color this earring real quick. Next up is the little yellow parts of his armor. So you're just going to take a nice little light yellow and color in these parts of his armor. Make sure you get it nice and good, don't miss any spots. Next up, we're going to grab an even darker shade of yellow, kind of on the verge of greenish brown. Then we're just going to color it in more towards the center of his body. This is because the sources of light are coming in from the left and the right. Next up, grab an even darker color, basically on the verge of brown, and we're just going to color in these little spots here. Remember to try and stay inside the lines as much as possible. To blend, grab the lightest yellow and then just mix it all together. Take a light pink or purple and just barely touch the edges of it. This will come into play later in the drawing. Next is my favorite part, the hair. Grab basically any purple, it doesn't really matter which one. Then, just trying to stay inside the lines, just trace along it and color it all in. Make sure that this purple is a little bit lighter than all the rest, because we are going to need darker colors to shade in the hair. Once you've got the base purple color down on his hair, we're just going to take a slightly darker color of purple and just shade it in very carefully in very specific spots. Make sure you still focus on the light coming in from the left and the right. Go ahead and take this marker and just fill in the rest of his little clumps of spiky hair. And just color it, focusing more towards the center as the light source is still coming in from the left and the right. Once you've all but finished that, take out an even darker color of purple and fill in the very smaller spots between the hair. Once you have done your desired skin tone for his face, take a light pink or purple and color in from where the sources of light are coming. This again will come into play further in the drawing. Put in a little gray for the shade of the eyes. Next, grab a darker skin tone. This will be used for the shading in the face. Again, focus towards the center, as it needs to be averted from the light. Grab your original base skin tone and just mix those lightly together. Next, grab a third skin tone, this one the darkest of all of them, and then just slightly color in the insides and barely touching the edges. Once again, grab your lightest skin tone and blend it all together on the edges. This will make it look nice and clean. Next, grab an indigo and focus on the edges of his muscles. This will be from the light source coming from the left and right. Next, grab a blue and fill in the rest of the white gaps on his uniform. Don't fill in any of the armor. Also, don't blend it with the indigo quite yet. We're going to be saving that for later. Next, grab a darker blue and we're just going to be focusing on these little areas right here to add for shading. Once again, grab a darker blue, focusing more on the inside. This is going to be our second layer of shading. Proceed to do it in these little spots right here. And then on top of all that, we're going to add a third layer of shading. This is going to be adding the most amount of depth into the suit. To top it off, grab that lightest blue and blend it all in. Grab that light pink or purple that we've been using before. This is the one I've been using. We're just going to be gently coloring in the edges of his uniform. This will be used on his gloves and on his armor. Make sure to color it on the edges of this part, because this is where the light is going to be focused on most. Then we're going to add a little gray. We're going to be using the gray to focus on shading for the glove. Make sure to color it on the inside as per usual. Next, grab a darker shade of gray and just color in on the very edges of the inside. Take the same light gray and then color in the inside of his armor as followed. Next, take a darker gray and just color in the very edges of the inside. For his boots, we're just going to do the same kind of thing we did with the gloves. Take that light gray, color in the following spots, and then take that darker gray and put it in for shading. If you've been following along, good job so far, but we're not quite done yet. It's time to color in his aura, so take a nice little pink or purple, doesn't really matter. For me, I kind of chose the wrong color, but that's not going to matter in the long run of it. Proceed to color it in this little wavy pattern, fill in every little blank spot, try not to overlap onto the actual character. Even fill in this little gap between his legs. Go ahead and take your darker color and just follow along the edges. Make sure it waves on the inside as well to make it look like it's energy. Grab two more darker purples and we're just going to do the same thing. We're going to follow along the edges, making a little wavy pattern. And even make sure that that little purple overlaps, making it look glowing. Take that darkest purple and just outline the rest of the aura. And make sure it looks nice when doing it. Take the other colors and just mix it all together and add a little flames for detail. We're not done yet. Grab two gel pens, white and purple. Use the purple and draw little stars. Take that white gel pen and just do little dots all over the place. It doesn't really matter where. Grab that white gel pen and use highlights on the armor, the hair, the skin, wherever, and voila, you've done it. You've drawn Ultra Ego Vegeta. Thank you all for watching this video and for following along. If you like this video, go ahead and click that subscribe button, and I'll see you all in my next video.